Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's Pick-a-Reads. This video should be on James 13 Wicca on YouTube, just to make sure that that's there. I'll put the cards and dice that I use below if you're looking to see what I'm using. Most of my videos in the last couple months should have that. What else? I am currently doing in-person readings in Herkimer, New York. If you're near there and you're interested, shoot me an email, I'll give you details. Otherwise, if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. All right, let's go ahead and get into your reading. Hello, Sagittarius. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Sagittarius? All right, it's good, but like, okay. I know it's good, but like, what's going on? That's it. That's it. These cards are pushing out of the bottom. Okay. Nothing wrong with that. I don't know what they are. They're face down, but they literally pushed right out. Can we start with these? I want to, but all right. So, are you on the in or out? Are you on the in or the out? The world is coming, but it's been happening. I feel like we're solving something. Are you on the in or out? You got this. You got the 9 of Wands, which this is, I think of this as like if you have a estate, for example, just say there's an estate. This is the gate, but are you on the inside of the gate, closer to the house, or are you on the outside of the gate trying to get in? And I'm not really sure just yet. Whatever this situation is, there's been really good times in the past. Really good times in the past. Very good times in the past. But it's become, over time, it's become very cumbersome. I don't know. This card's the card we're seeing. It's the Devil. It feels like a chore. It does feel like a chore. I don't think it used to. It does now. Where I used to like this energy more. I used to have more energy. I used to be more optimistic, maybe. I feel like reality has come through a lot. And how you used to feel about it versus currently, it's kind of like, well, back in those days, if I felt the way I do now, I don't think I would have had a lot of those experiences. And it did create a beautiful situation. It was nice for the time, but it's almost like currently, even though I can see the beauty that came from it, I just don't feel like I have the initiative. I could say energy, but I feel like that's very cliche. There's something here where things are changing. And I get that there's a new way of handling things. You have made situations much better for you, much healthier for you. Especially with Sagittarius. Sagittarius is a very helpful, a very loving energy, at least the ones that I know. They get involved in a lot. They try to be helpful. They try to be useful. I do feel like Sagittarius gets overworked very easily. And I feel like there's been an evolution with this. Kind of like the way I used to do things was different. And it created a lot of beautiful things. But I just don't... It's kind of like looking back, kind of like... Even though a lot of beautiful things came from it, I feel like I was so busy that I didn't enjoy it like I feel like I should have for the effort I was putting into it. Are you graduating? Are you graduating from something? Something, you're starting a new chapter. It's coming. That World card was there. You're starting a new chapter. Whatever this subject is to you, I feel like you have done a lot of internal work. We all do. I've said this to many people. Life is hard. There's not one person on this planet that doesn't go through struggles. If they're telling you they do, they're either one of two things. They're either lying to your face or they're crazy, because it's just, that's not what this world is. It's just not. It's just not. There's always struggles. Even if you go off into the wilderness and live by yourself, there'll be the struggles of like dealing with people once in a great while when they come across your path. You're just not going to get out of it. They're just not going to get out of it. There's just no way. Anyway, you've done a lot, and that world is like a new phase is coming in. A whole new phase is coming in, and you're getting ready to start something new. And you're going to be in one of your most strongest periods of your life, is what I'm kind of getting. It's very interesting how it's coming forward, because it's not something that I feel like I'm just haphazardly going into. It's something that I want. And there seems to be a little bit of a, I don't want to call it a trick, but maybe there is a trick to it. I can't go by other people's rules. This to me feels like this is other people's rules. That's not Sagittarius. Sagittarius goes forward the way they need to go forward in the moments as it fits for them. You can't go by somebody else's rules. And it could even be one of those things where whatever somebody else expects of you, you can't really do that either. It's not going to have, that success isn't going to be there for you. You have to do things, whatever this subject is, you have to do it the way you need to do it. This is for you to decide. You will be the leader in this. And I cringe to say that, because a lot of Sagittarians I know, they don't really want to be the leader. They just end up being the leader. It's kind of like, well, if it's going to work, I got to do it. If I don't do it, nothing gets done. You know what I mean? If it's actually going to happen, then you got to do it. It just seems to go that way. It just seems like a lot of times Sagittarius ends up the leader, and they weren't trying to be. They weren't trying to be. It just happens. And I get that that's how this is going to start. This next phase is going to kind of start that way, where you're going to know what you want. You're just going to start doing it, because it's not going to happen unless you do it. This card was backing up your card. This card can be your card too, this Page of Wands. It's very active, but it doesn't really, it's not really aspiring to lead. It's just going along. It's trying to go along, but it's also a card that does end up leading. Sometimes it is a Sagittarius energy, in my opinion. But it's like, it's not meant to stay there. It's not meant to stay in this page energy. And with the Spirit Guide energy backing it up, it's kind of like, you're not going to stay in this follower energy. Whatever this was, it seems like you have taken a back seat to this situation for a little while, even though maybe you shouldn't have, or maybe you're going to look back and like, well, maybe I shouldn't have, or maybe I was trying to not, or maybe I was trying to do that. You're going to come forward in this situation, and you're going to create another leadership role for yourself, and you're going to create what you want in this situation. It's going into a new evolution, but it's what you want. It's not per somebody else's rules. It's not per somebody else's expectations. Other people might have a lot of expectations about what they think is supposed to happen next. And I feel like if I can step away from their concerns or their, there's a word, it's what they want is not going to happen. It's not going to happen. We could struggle with it for a little while, but it's not going to happen. Eight of Swords, releasing the trap. What was that one? The question is it going to be the Lovers, or is it going to be the Empress? Don't get caught up in the gender, but like, is this going to be something that flourishes for you and other people on your terms? Or is this something where the Lovers isn't going to work? I just keep getting that the Lovers isn't going to work, because it just dawned on me. Sometimes the Lovers talks about Gemini energy, and that's the opposite of Sagittarius. That's think. Sagittarius is do. The two of them clash because of the way they handle things. So it's kind of like, I can overthink this and drive myself crazy and not actually get anything done, trying to do what other people want me to do. Or I could just be like, you know what, I'll just make it work, and I'm going to make it what I want it to be, because that's the only way this is going to actually happen, and move forward with what you actually want to happen. It's releasing yourself from the cage. You got the Eight of Swords on its side, which is telling me it's like the cage is getting tipped over. It's kind of like, I felt like I was trapped with this, and it's almost like even though the cage is tipped over. I still feel like there's some restrictions that I just have to address, and then I just got to get out of this. If there was a cage made of swords, I'm like, if it fell over, you'd probably get hurt a little bit. So it's kind of like, I got to get out of there. I got to get out of there safely. I got to heal a little bit, and then I got to move on from this, because this situation needs to evolve where you need it to evolve, not where other people expect you to put it. There is some type of evolution going on here. Can we just get dice on this last piece? This is kind of interesting to me, because both of these cards are good. Them coming together the way they are, I'm just saying. Let me see. Judgment and the Queen of Swords. Other people may not believe that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, but I'm feeling like I have to let go of what other people want from me. It's the Lover's card. It talks about Gemini energy, though. It does, and that is the opposite of Sagittarius. It's kind of like going in circles trying to clean the house, but it's like the more you try to clean it, the more somebody else is messing it up with an effort to clean it. And they just keep moving things around, and they're like, well, what about this, and what about that? And then everything you do, they question. Even though you're making headway, they're like scrutinizing every little thing you do. I'm not putting up with that anymore. Okay, so it's because it's a Sagittarius reading, this makes more sense to me. I'm disconnecting from other people's expectations. And I'm realizing if I'm really going to be happy with this subject, other people's expectations, I can't do that. I can't be doing that. I got to decide what I want and make it happen and just go forward that way. And if I'm going to restructure this and other people aren't going to like it, well, then they aren't going to like it. But I got to do what works for me. If I'm going to have real success, I got to do what works for me. Again, it starts off with this energy where I just naturally see you going into it, and you're just starting it, and you're just starting the process. I feel like you're going to start doing this process naturally, where you're changing it, and then people are going to be like, oh, no, 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 Sag, no, Sag, no, Sag, no, 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 Sag. That's going to be your moment where you have to decide, am I going to make this the way I need to make it? Am I going to follow my heart? Am I going to follow what I really need to do, what I know I need to do? Or am I going to let this energy around me keep dictating my life and keep me in this energy that I don't want to be in? If this reading is hitting, I feel like if I let this other energy do that, it's something that I don't want to be in. I don't want this. I don't want this on those terms. I want this on my terms. And am I going to step up and be like, all right, you don't like that? You don't have to like that. But I'm going on and I'm going to do what I need to do. And I'm shutting off that energy where other people get to mess with me. I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm going to do what I need to do. And part of that is disconnecting from feeling guilty that other people don't like what I'm doing. That might be a challenge, but that's part of this. Not over-investing in other people's disappointment. Criticism's one thing. Somebody's saying, well, you could have done this and that would have given you a better result, or you could have done this and that would have been a better result. That's one thing. But somebody saying, no, you're totally wrong. You got to do it the way I'm telling you. You got to do it the way I'm telling you. Go by my plan. Go by my plan. That's totally different. So criticism once in a while, that's okay. But somebody trying to control you, completely unacceptable. And you're going into this whole new evolution. If this works out this way and you step forward in that energy, you're going into a whole new phase of life. You can't really go into this phase of life halfway. It's kind of like you either get on the boat or you don't, if that makes sense. If you try to put one foot on land and one foot on boat, that boat is going. So whichever way your weight is more on, if your weight is more on land, you're staying on land. If your weight is more on the boat, you might fall into water. Hopefully you can get on the boat. You know what I'm saying? Be careful. Being in the middle isn't going to work. It's kind of like we're either in or you're out. Are we good? All right. I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.